armored trucks rendered helpless in downtown Los Angeles, brazen thieves working in broad daylight, and a city waiting to see what comes next. Sky 5 has the story.
So we played the Battlefield Hardline beta, and by we I mean myself, Dan, and also
me, Ben,
and me, Steve.
We played it for what, about an hour or two? I guess the same sort of time as Destiny.
Yeah,
maybe slightly less. And it was just the one map that you saw in the E3 2014 EA press conference.
Yeah,
that one map, which is
quite hectic to say the least.
Yeah, because it's Battlefield Hardline is more cops and robbers based than
cops and robbers.
Yeah, what's that?
Hoosiers.
Hoosiers. I like that song.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah, I like the fact that it's different. It's not a military shooter. Like someone who got bored of Battlefield. I stopped with Battlefield 3. I didn't get Battlefield 4. I know you two did.
Yeah,
you played and enjoyed Battlefield 4 for what you could play with it.
Yeah, servers they've been improved now, but we just sort of lost faith in it a bit.
That's really the biggest plus for me.
It's just not there anymore. I'd rather wait for this.
Yeah.
Or I'd rather play my GTA. Or...
Yeah, that's one thing for me is that these servers, there was no lag, there was no hiccups in terms of.
Remember, there is a lot smaller base amount of people.
Yeah. So the thing that really stuck out to me is the fact that because it's not a military shooter, you don't have tanks, and
that's not a bad thing.
Instead, you have these muscle cars, which it feels really weird but also cool to be driving a muscle car around the battlefield. Yeah, loads of cars. Yeah. Although one downside is that it's not like GTA where you can jump in any car you want. It's only preset cars, which it's kind of lame.
You kind of see the point because otherwise you have cars littered all over the battlefield, but it's not a bad thing. It's more cover for you.
Yeah.
Till it blows up.
And to be honest with you, in that game you need as much cover as possible. Considering that you've got so many RPGs going off.
There's a lot of destructibility in this one.
Oh hell yeah! Literally every time you turn your head,
it feels Battlefield 4. It feels and looks very similar to that in terms of the way its destruction is.
Do you remember the map where you're on the city?
Yeah, it's Battlefield 4.
Yeah, until. And you kind of like on the coast.
I know what you're on about. The Chinese one.
That reminds me of this quite a
bit.
Yeah,
because it's industrial.
Yeah,
and
it's kind of
the demo one.
Is that again? It's got the lifts going up to the top floor of the buildings, isn't it? I think
typical Battlefield.
Right, actually. And I think it's got like shutters on the windows and shit like that. It's kind of cool and it's very interactive. And there's a lot of shit you can blow up as well.
Yeah. I mean, for me, it just feels like a Battlefield 4 mod.
Yeah, I agree. That's what I was going to try and get at in a minute.
Which just. Do you want to elaborate that?
I don't think it's worth 60 quid. They should do it. I reckon they should have done it as a downloadable add-on or like extra little game.
Well, they should have. Do you know? I do kind of agree with you. I mean, it depends on how much of a single player they give this game.
The campaign could be really cool.
You know how recent.
Could be two perspectives.
It's true. You know how they did the new Infamous DLC, First Light, I think it is.
Yeah,
basically, you can download it for 20 quid or whatever it is, but it's separate to the actual main game.
I think you can play
You can download it without having the game. I think that this is what Hardline should be.
I agree.
But at the same time, this is EA. They are going to put this out at 60 quid.
Money.
I can't fault them for that, really. They're going to put this out. People are going to buy this, even though the Battlefield name has been slightly tarnished. I think.
Yeah.
I think it's still growing in reputation.
That Hardline had a lot of variety of what you could see in the multiplayer, and you're probably going to get your money's worth. 60 quid's worth.
Not quite.
You will. Well, it's very hard to say on a beta.
A beta where you just got one map.
Yeah.
16v16.
Yeah. That's the question, whether you get 60 quid's worth of stuff. But if you got like something like Destiny or Grand Theft Auto, that is 60 quid worth a game.
Yeah, it's true. I like the heists. The way the heists, like they showed in the E3 demo, it was very much like a focused on here's the bad guys are going to try and rob this money, and then the police are going to try and stop them, and there was a chase going on. Whereas in this, it's like Battlefield. They're just a bunch of people shooting the fuck out of people.
You can't go 7 feet without getting shot.
It doesn't feel. I mean, obviously that was a kind of a scripted event.
Yeah, but with that, I think you got to have a lot of luck and one hell of a team and that lot of luck.
Depends on the squad, yeah.
It all comes down to that. But I personally think the best way of doing that fucking game, and I think we didn't do it. But again, if you're the squad, get the helicopter, get one of your squad members sit in a helicopter. Yeah. As soon as you pick up the bag, fly down, pick you up, gone. Because those helicopters could take a hit. Those helicopters flew so much better as well. I think Ben was going to touch on that in a minute.
Yeah, about the controllers. Controls of the helicopters. I think the vehicles themselves have changed as well. We didn't pick up on that, but you don't drive now with the analog sticks where you did on Battlefield 4. Let's move back to the Battlefield 3 where you use the triggers. The back triggers to actually accelerate and brake and gain altitude and lose altitude in helicopters. So that's good.
I much prefer that because I only played Battlefield 3 and the ones before that, like Bad Company 1 and 2, the old Battlefield. Didn't play 4 that much, and I remember you saying you hate the controls and you telling me the controls of Battlefield 4.
So there's no need for it. There was no need.
So,
Fish did it.
Do you like the aesthetic change?
No.
Do you prefer the military setting?
Why? Yeah. So why are there 32 criminals? Like, what organisation has 32 criminals with a load of
enough, yeah.
I don't understand the story to it. That's what I'm confused
But I
with.
remember it's a beta.
Do you,
Still early.
I know. Do you have to really care about a story?
Yeah,
or a game?
I want it to make sense. Criminals won't have 700 spawn points.
Well, shit, you really get into this shit, aren't you?
Yeah.
But the actual aesthetic of Cops and Robbers,
I think it's great.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah.
I didn't give a crap about Battlefield 4 because it was just another military shooter. But Hardline, just even though it's core Battlefield game, the HUD looks exactly the same as Battlefield 4.
Yeah, I
What does
agree.
it change?
And 3, but just the fact that you're in a city, you're Cops and Robbers, and you've got cars rather than tanks.
I think something needed
I just
to change.
don't know whether I'm going to buy it. I'm interested in it, especially after playing the beta. A lot more interested, even though I don't think that it was as open-ended as the demo on the E3 stage made it out to be.
No, but they were always going to put that on.
Yeah,
They were always gonna,
yeah.
because he wanted to show off that you could get in a car, that you could go in a helicopter, that you
Blow
could
a crane up,
so-
mate, go into a building.
Yeah, blow a crane up. You could go up in an elevator and have that elevator music, and then jump out of a helicopter and parachute and stuff. So I think they're gonna make it out like that. It doesn't mean shit just doesn't happen like that in the real world. Okay.
I know.
There's no elevator music like that. Either. The good thing about it though is networking.
What do you mean?
It's networking. Did we have a single issue there trying to get into a game?
Oh, that's what I was saying earlier. Anything else you want to add?
Battlefield 4.
Maybe
was.
they're gonna.
Battlefield
go
5
down-
will be out next year from DICE.
Yeah.
This is not from DICE. This is
I was about to
from
Visceral, isn't it?
Visceral, yes.
Yeah.
The Dead Space
Maybe
guys.
they're going to start doing it every other, like
Which-
Call of Duty does.
I think it's funny, which some people have noted in the internet already. Visceral, they split up when half of them went to form a company called Sledgehammer. Now they're
I
making a
know
new Call of Duty game, and now the existing Visceral guys are now making a Battlefield game.
Ooh, shit gonna get real.
Oh,
So would you have
Clan Wars?
Would you have said like 6 years ago, whenever Dead Space come out, oh yeah, this Dead Space team, they're going to split up. One of them's going to do a Battlefield game, the other one's going to do a Call of Duty game.
No, Daniel.
So another thing I want to add: do you think the Hardline will sell as well because it's called Hardline,
No.
and it's not called Battlefield 5, for example? Is a
I think
number?
they've got a lot of work to do.
Is
I'll
the
give them
number-
one
Yeah,
side.
it won't
Yeah.
sell as much.
But
This
will
is brand new.
will it also sell less because of people were burnt out on?
I don't think there's enough change in this game.
I think Hardline's more of a change than what 3 was to 4. The only change
Yeah.
from 3 to 4 was that the servers were shit.
Yeah, and the graphics were vastly improved.
I think we'll find out. Only time will tell.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's true. I'm interested. I'm going to wait at least until not only hear reviews, but also just to see if the server's running fine.
I call it an
Gosh,
elevator. Yeah.
Elevator's the American way of calling it.
Elevator.
Elevator.
It's kind of sexy if you're
Yeah.
French. It's
You
just get
wouldn't
makes
go-
a girl just totally wet.
Get in the lift.
Is that what you do? Get
Yeah.
get in the elevator, and
Elevator.
I'll take you up to my bedroom.
And she's like,
And now
How is that? She thumping the dump.
she's just like, she shuts herself. He thinks he's making her wet. He's just shitting her. Like, oh shit! I'm
Look at that.
bloody right.
Look at that elevator. Look how dirty the elevator is.
he's now.
Oh, my head's hurting so much.
Anyway,